All right, greetings everyone. It is time for a new week. And with a new week comes new promising things for global. And JP, what to expect this week? All right, so this video, we're going to cover a few things. We're going to cover some streaming stuff this week. We're going to cover some streaming stuff next week. We are going to be covering a little bit about what to expect from JP, and then of course we'll be expecting what to be expecting for global and whether or not you should really care this week. So let's begin. And first off, about streams. The streams this week are going to be a little bit different. You should be able to find. I'm going to put a description about what the streams will be. Monday, I'm still going to do my regular stream, and then I'm not going to do a stream on Tuesday because I need just some time off. Wednesday and Thursday, I'm going to be streaming Strangers in Paradise, the new DLC that will be coming out, as well as I'm going to be streaming Stray. But the big thing here is that I don't know if I will be streaming both on Wednesday and Thursday, or if I'll be streaming one on Wednesday, one on Thursday. I want to stream both of these games this week, but I don't know too much more than that. Friday this week, I think I'm just taking off because there are some things coming in the next few following a little bit, so I want to get ready for that. As for the following week, I'm also planning on taking a little bit of extra time off, at least until whenever the next Wotv live stream is, which will probably happen the following week. I want to say, because, this week is the 18th to the 22nd. And that also kind of segues a little bit into talking about what to expect from Wotv on the JP side this week. First off, one thing that globalers can be expecting is a new vision card at the announced probably on Wednesday for Earth Element. I don't know if we'll see any kind of a new mid-tier character. I don't think we're really going to see much of a new event. I think it's going to be a fairly quiet week next week. They'll have to have something. Maybe a difficulty challenge, a new piece of equipment farm to round out the end of the month. And then the following week, I'm basically expecting that sometime between the 25th and the 29th, we're going to get the announcement of the next character for the month of August, which should, for all intents and purposes, finally be the summer units. Of course, it might not be if something has gone weird or their review schedule, their schedule for releasing characters is just off, but it's kind of August and September, is getting back into more of the workflow away from the summer months. So yeah, I think we'll see something over the month of August for those summer units. It'll probably be announced live stream around 28th, 29th, which, next Monday, late Sunday evening is going to be the launch of whatever that is in the month of August. So they got to kind of announce it pretty quickly. So, yes, not too much for this week, probably more for the next week, and I'm kind of wanting to take a little bit of a vacation before that begins. I'm also looking at taking a vacation into the month of August, but mostly for streams. YouTube video content shouldn't be affected too terribly much, and no, I have not forgotten about Cuphead either. Now, let's scroll into the global stuff for this week, and the global stuff this week is primarily two new units, and two new units that I can show off relatively easy. First of all, a lower tier character in the version of Rinnell. Now, Rinnell is honestly a really nice lower tier character. Great, synergizes super well with Shadow Links for the use in the Dark Selection quest. And yeah, there isn't really much else to say. She's a solid unit. She has Operative, which is on the Valentine's Salier. She has Pugilist and she has Sniper. Great little mix. Nice little cheaper cost Dark Elemental character. I've seen her on JP in limited Guild Wars and stuffs to do surrounding that with other powerful Dark Elemental characters. She's a cheap elemental character. If you like the dark element, there's no reason not to build her. And even if you're not going to build her right away, just farm up the shards and the orbs. Keep all of that stuff in the background for maybe when you have more resources, but there's no reason to skip her. She's a really solid, great little unit. You may be wondering, oh, bro, why didn't you build her? Well, I did build her up to a point, and then I kind of got sidetracked by having Dark Fina added to my account, and then I just kind of, I've just been holding on to resources and haven't wanted to spend them. But yeah, Rinnell, you know, mid-tier character, nice little character, nothing else bad to say about it. Now, the next character coming out this week for Global is Eliza, and I have to tell you right now, Eliza gets a full recommendation from me. Do not underestimate this character because she is a 90 cost character. This is the first one to really be pushing like ice damage, and more importantly, ice damage at a range. It wasn't until very more recently on the JP side when ice became effectively a complete element again. Basically, you know, Barris is one of the best support elemental characters, and just one of the best support characters, period, as well as being probably one of the best well-rounded characters in the entire game with very little sacrifice. Honestly, Barris has kind of changed my mind, but it wasn't until we saw a combination on JP of Agrius and Snow coming out and being really viable tanks, and being able to hide Eliza behind both of those, that it really ended up taking off. And yes, I am willing to say right now 100% that is an amazing combo, that anyone who is not only like an ice person, like if you've been a ice person, you know, using Valrus and everything, sure, whatever, fine. I think you're, you know, okay. She's just a really, really great unit, and a really great 90 cost unit. And in combination with future units such as, of course, and not only her, but also McLeod here, there's a really good limited cost team here that is pure range, that is incredibly effective at killing opponents, because there just is a ton of offensive power here that can get through tanks, that can get through a lot, especially with the very good vision cards that Ice has access to, a lot of damage cards. I've been running effectively a Barrett, Alaya, and Eliza comp in Arena for the last week, and it has been really fantastic. I've had some mild issues with some Earth Elemental teams, and just having a really bad day where, I don't know, maybe everything was just geared towards not being like, or just being anti-shooty, pew-pew, but I still had like a 95% win rate last week, earning a very comfortable and easy over 2,000 in Arena, which not only did I earn a 2,000 in Arena, what makes that actually even more impressive is the fact that JP Arena went crazy last week, and the scores were just out of control, crazy nuts for first place and whatnot. So yeah. That happened, and it was kind of just a crazy week in Arena, but I had really great success. And Eliza is a really big first step to that. Her vision card also, I believe, is coming out as well this week, which if you know, or no, it's coming out the 27th. Okay, whatever, fine. But it is a major component of what works really well in the future, and this is a vision card that I have gotten. So if we not here, I want to jump over to here, and I'm just going to kind of show off this is the team that I'm effectively running. So you can see the Snow vision card, the Rams vision card, we have Odin, and you know, a lot of offensive power in here. So yeah, I want to talk also just really quickly about who I recommend this team for, which accounts. Because fire on JP is just not a thing. It could be a thing really quickly though, because fire 100 cost is more than likely going to be the next unit that's introduced on JP. And if the summer units are going to be a thing, like they kind of have been in the past, I expect them to happen at the same time on both global. which could hurt the Eliza recommendation for global. With that being said, with things such as the Chaos Odin Vision card, which works very well for synergizing a ice water comp, for people who have Celeste and Astoria, that was one of the things that made it really easy for me to transition from a very strong water player to a very strong ice player, and now I'm just a very strong ice water player. This vision card is kind of a backbone into really good synergy between water and ice, and it makes it really nice over the next few months to kind of transition or be in the middle of the two, where you can, I can easily still run a lot of my great ice units just with a couple water units and basically get guaranteed wins on fire elemental teams with the Celeste Astoria combination. A little bit of an expensive recommendation, but for anybody, I'm just going to sum this up very succinctly now after my long-winded routine. First and foremost, for anyone who is planning on getting Snow, who is planning on maxing Agrius, who is planning on going for, who already has a Barris, Eliza is a 100% recommendation. Just get her, make her powerful, get the vision card, and wait for the other units to come out down the line, and potentially pick up a few other units you want. But I really do like the high chance of getting Eliza right now. For people who are into water, I would recommend, with the addition of lightning, I know that Globalers do already have a very strong couple of lightning units with Esther, as well as Ibarra, as well as, just a pretty strong lightning comp already. Lightning makes that worse. Orlando also makes that worse. You will have a more difficult time through the FF13 time period, and if you've already have Eliza and you pick up Snow as well, and you already have Barris, you can really easily switch over and not have too much of a difficulty fighting a lot of different elements, because over that time period, fire is not just going to be really that strong. And even if we get a summer unit right now, by the time global gets to FF13, you will be moving out of the fire element. There's really nothing much. I mean, there's Delita, but I don't think Delita is going to be really enough there. And you can still have the great option with something like Chaos Odin of being between a water comp and an ice comp to fight lots of different teams successfully. So yes, for everybody else, it really is maybe, you have a luxury, kind of just want to roll on something. Eliza's a great, fantastic range unit. I've had her basically since her banner came out. I've had her at level 120 for a long time, and only more recently have I really seen her take off with how strong she is. And of course, Eliza is a big part of that. Barris is a big part of that. Snow or Agrius are a big part of that. But the ice element has really come in recently to being an incredibly strong element. And that's also, again, just a blessing of really strong vision cards that have made the element quite a force to be reckoned with, because potentially it can transition really quickly into killing opponents. It can have good access to accuracy. It has good defensive units. It has great offensive units. It has some nasty status effects. The ice element is kind of just one of my favorites right now, and it holds a lot of power, and you should definitely strongly consider it, Globalers. So anyway, that's all my stuff. Prepare for a rant video coming up very shortly. Thanks for watching. See you next time.